Okay, so now we're going to do our sixth technique that I want to show you. And this one we're actually going to stand up and we're going to do a little bit of stretching. So we're going to stretch the gastrocnemius and soleus muscle in the Achilles tendon. We're going to stretch the calf. So I'm going to go ahead and stand up. And I'm standing on my client's right side right now. So I'm going to be taking my right arm on his right side. My fingertips are going to support right here on the Achilles tendon, and the center of my palm is right over his calcaneus, his heel. And then I want my forearm flexors to be really right up against and supporting the plantar surface of his foot. I'm going to be in a nice lunge with my legs, and so I'm going to press just above his knee, so just superior to his knee. And it'll just be gentle pressure here, but then I'm going to lunge forward to give him that nice stretch in the gastrocnemius, soleus, Achilles tendon, holding for about 5 seconds and then releasing. And if you want to, you can kind of do a little bit of jostling or a little bit of kind of kneading all the way down the center of that gastrocnemius and into the Achilles tendon. Let's go ahead and do this one more time. So usually I would do this 1 to 3 times. So we're going to go ahead and lunge forward. Your arm comes with you. My arm looks like it's being pushed away because it is being pushed away by his foot. But if I were to do this without the counter pressure of his foot, it would look like this, okay? It would look like my arm was coming with me. But because I have the pressure of his foot there, it pushes my arm away. Okay, but the intent is that that comes with the rest of your body. So now we're going to do a few reflexology techniques, that 3 more, that are just some nice palm press walking and palm pressing techniques. So I'm going to go ahead and start right here at my client's heels. And I'm going to press in with the heel of my palm. And I'm just using my body weight. My arms are nice and straight, but not locked. I'm moving pressure into the technique that I'm doing by bringing my body weight into it. So not through any type of force through my arms. My joints are just stacked, and I'm just pressing. So what I did was a press of 1, and then up to the arch, 2, and then up to the ball of the foot, 3. Just very relaxed as you do this. And then back to the arch, 2, and then 1. And now I'm going to begin palm press walking. So that's moving side to side. So you're moving your body weight side to side as you walk up the heel of the arch, the ball of the foot, side to side, alternating pressure, and then back down to the heel. Okay. And then the third one that we're going to do, we're going to bring our client's feet and we're going to bring them close together and bring them up straight. And I'm going to take the webbing between my thumb and my pointer finger, and it's just going to go right across the crease of that ankle. And I'm going to go ahead and just settle my body weight into my hands. This is going to plantar flex his feet, and I'll move up a little bit more and sink down. That 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. We also use this in Thai massage when you learn it. So 3, pressure just below the phalanges, just below those toes, and then 2, back to the center, and then 1. Okay. All right. I'm going to return to a seated position in just a second, but our last set of 3 that we're going to do, I'm going to stack his feet one over the other, and then I'm going to stack my hands one over the other, and with nice diffuse pressure, I'm just going to sink my body weight down, holding for about 5 seconds. And I could instruct my client to take a nice deep breath, so let's have you go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Go ahead and inhale deeply. And then as he exhales, I'll just sink down. I'll just hold there for about 3 to 5 seconds and then slowly release. Okay. All right, returning to a seated position. I'm going to do some pressing right here on what we call the diaphragm area. Do you guys see where you've got the ball of the foot and the color is a little bit different? In this case, it's a very pink color. It's going to depend on the individual, but you will see generally a color change between the ball of the foot and then the arch of the foot. And right at the center of the arch of the foot, it kind of goes up in a little triangle, like a little point right there. That, in reflexology, is considered the diaphragm area. And it's really good at facilitating healthy breathing and deep breathing, breathing down into the diaphragm and even down into the abdomen. So I'm gonna go ahead and sink my body weight in there. So my arm is like in a fixed position. My thumb is pressed into that diaphragm area. And my other hand is going to be on the dorsal surface of his foot just for support. I'm gonna have him go take a deep breath. Let's go ahead and inhale. And then as he exhales, I'm gonna just sink in by bringing my body forward and that movement coming through my arm and then into my thumb. So it's very supported pressure. And I'll do this 3 times. Go ahead and inhale. And then exhale. Nice. Good. And just holding for a little bit. And then finally inhale. And exhale. Nice. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do right now, and then I would get into my reflexology session, but these are just some of the warm-up techniques. So the last thing I'm going to do is work on the toes. So I'm going to take the ulnar side of my hand right here by, and it'll be my pinkies and my ring finger, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of jostle back and forth between each of the toes coming up, and then I'll go to the next toe and just jostle back and forth coming up. And keep moving out laterally, jostling, and then jostling, and then the last toe, jostling. And then I'm going to take each of the toes and I'm going to support the foot with my left hand, but it could really be either hand, whatever's more comfortable for you. Although I do encourage trying to use each of your hands equally so that that will become accessible to you. So if you're left-handed, try and use your right hand more. If you're right-handed, try and use your left hand more, because that will really help you a lot as you progress as a massage therapist. So I'm going to go ahead and just gently hold around the toes, pinky toe, and I'm going to traction. So I'm going to pull back using my body to do that for leverage. And I'm going to hold traction there, and I'm going to circle 3 times in one direction. And then I'll circle 3 times in the other direction. And then I'm going to take my finger, the side of my finger right here, and my thumb, and I'm calling this inchworm walking. I'm just going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, with your thumb and your pointer finger. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on the sides of the toes. You could also do this on the front and back of the toe. So we'll do both. So back and forth. So I'm going to do rotation first 3 times with that traction. 3, and then rotating 1, 2, 3, and then my inchworm walking back and forth on the sides, and then that little inchworm walking back and forth on the front and back, and then the next toe, tractioning, circling 3 times in each direction. And then that back and forth on the sides, and the back and forth on the front and back. Next toe, tractioning and circling, keeping that traction, maintaining that traction while you rotate in each direction. And then rotating in the opposite direction. And then our inchworm walking. Little by little, and then from the front and back, little by little. And our last toe, the big toe, our favorite. So tractioning and 3 times in one direction, and then 3 times in the other direction. And then we'll begin inchworm walking up, and then on the front and back, okay? All right, so you could go through this entire set of warm-up techniques on one foot and then go to the other foot if you want to, or you could keep going back and forth. So you certainly could do like one side and maybe a couple movements, and then do the same thing on the other foot. Okay, so that's up to you. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. See you soon.